how to navigate being in a marriage and a relationship where your partner is busy, okay? You were scared to be broke, so you worked super hard.
You have to build a name at some point.
Shoo-wee.
So I've learned how to get my time back.
What advice would you give to a woman dating an in high demand, busy man?
Best thing I can say is just
Hello, Faith Girls. Welcome to the Hey Faith Girl podcast, where we are navigating life with faith, fire, and grace. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have an amazing episode for you today. I have a special guest. I'm blushing a little bit. I have a special guest with me today. I have my husband with me, Mr. Elliot Bernard Jefferson, the one and only Prince of Praise and Worship, the one and only owner of One Vision Recording Studio, the one and only musician, keyboard player, producer. Shall I continue? None other than my husband, Elliot Bernard Jefferson. Hey, baby.
Hey, don't make me blush in here. Stop.
You look good.
Thank you.
Thank you for matching me.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's giving. It's real cute. It's real cute. But listen, so I want to tell you all that we have, I have my husband here. And so we are going to be talking about a topic that is near and dear to my heart, something that Elliot and I have navigated, 20 years of marriage. How many years we been, how many years we date? 21 years of dating?
No, it was more than that. It was
22?
17 years old.
Okay, well, I can't, I don't do math
So
well.
add it up. Add it up.
That's
17, 7 plus 10 plus 7 is 27. You was 27, that's 10 years. Another 37 is 20. So add up how old you are now.
So how many? You say it.
You do it. It's 14.
Gosh.
It's always like 24 years.
24 years. Okay, there we
That's
go.
why I met you sleeping math class.
You know what? You love to...
Knocked out.
You love
I should have known you didn't know math then because it was math class.
Right, because I was sleep during math, but I passed though. I graduated.
I don't know how.
Yes, so dating, been married for, it'll be 20 years next year, June 3rd. And, we gonna let the people know how to just navigate being in a marriage and a relationship where your partner is busy, okay? This man is busy. He's an entrepreneur. I met him as a musician. He was busy since we started dating. Remember, I used to be like, complain because you would come and see me like late after rehearsals and stuff.
Had to work, man.
The whole time I've been knowing him, he been busy, baby. And it was a headache initially, but I am going to break down how we got to a mutual ground of just supporting each other and, supporting each other's vision and calling, and passion. Today's topic is you are married to a busy man. You are dating a busy man, an entrepreneur, a called man, whatever, okay? And they are gone. They are busy. How do you navigate that? We're going to talk about it.
Let me ask you a question, though. What's a call man? You said a call man.
Well, you know what? I believe we're all called. So,
no, but you said a call man. I don't know what that is, so I'm just asking.
Called, like you're called by God, like you have a mission, a purpose, to really, like, be gone, like whether you're ministering, whether you're a musician and, you're traveling, maybe you got a vision to be on tour. You called to the ministry in church and you had Bible studies, you had, meetings and, you called to be a pastor. I mean, we're all called by God, but, some callings just require you to be gone and busy.
Gotcha.
So,
Makes sense.
Makes sense?
Makes
Okay.
sense.
All right, baby. So we're going to get into a few questions.
All right,
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm a little
All
nervous.
right. Did you? Like, I gave you a heads up about the questions. You probably didn't read them, though.
I was in church on the organ where I'm going to study.
I definitely sent them to you like days ago, but it's like...
I just got the email. I'll pull it up. But
Babe, stop! I texted you.
just got the email.
You know what? Okay. All right. So here's the first question. All right. What's the reality of being married to someone who's always on the go? Now, this question is for me.
That's your question.
That's my question. And so for me, being married to a man that's always on the go, it's nice because I do get a break. Like, when you gone, I'm like, I ain't got to worry about, what I got to cook. I ain't got to worry about, I can let the wig be off, baby. I be around the house with looking like Queen Latifah from Set It Off. Baby, I have on my muumuu. I'm sorry, but I really do be missing you. But I'm just saying, it's a nice break. And it gives a little balance because what happens is I actually begin to miss you. Like, when you're gone, it's like, oh, and, we get to text and do little, like fun things, flirty things, FaceTime versus where, when we're together, doing life, I've been with you for forever. Sometimes it could become routine. So when you're gone, it's nice because I actually do begin to miss you. And then it gets me excited to like get cute for you when you come home. And, sometimes I be at the door, like you come home, it's like I'm a little girl. Like, hey, baby, go to the door. So I would say that's one of the pluses. And then one of the things that I did have to kind of navigate through was like, it can be lonely sometimes. Like, different events and things that's happening, people doing stuff. It's on the weekends. On Saturdays, you never really have a Saturday off. You're in an agency band. You MD the agency band. You have to be there, and you have a very great work ethic. So you ain't gonna call out, even when I try to be like, you want to call out?
No, I ain't calling out.
You ain't calling.
I ain't missing money.
Yeah, and I know that, and so that's what I begin to. So I'm like, I'm lonely sometimes, and I've had to get used to like doing things myself, kind of showing up to places myself. And I don't hold that to you because it is your job, And so I've just kind of had to understand and accept that like this isn't like an option of where he can come. Maybe if I give you like a super heads up and it's something important, but I'm like, it's your job. So I center my life around, if it's a Saturday, hubby, depending on what time, hubby can't be there. So I've adapted to kind of like being, a onesie, not a +2, but a onesie. What about you?
I always tell people that, if you married a doctor, it's the same thing. They might be on call. Different things like that. Or if I was in the military, sometimes your family got to just up and move. Sometimes the family stay there. If I go to Afghanistan for 2 years, what can you do about that? And so a lot of times people look at being a musician or a producer to just hop up and leave that, sometimes it's not per se a real job, but we make real money. So, sometimes people think because we enjoy ourselves in our job, that is not a job. But it's actually a job. I tell people I work harder than most people that go to work and sit at a desk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I have to, make my schedule because that means I have to go in because I have to make money. Because if I don't work, I don't eat.
What I mean? So, and we don't eat.
Yeah, exactly. Your family don't eat. Y'all don't eat. You don't eat. You don't get to shop. So like all these things. So, it's just, and for me, like, sometimes being away, you do need a break from it all. Yeah. But then sometimes you do, like, you miss being in your bed. And, being back home with your family and being in your bed with you, different things like that. You have like the moments you just like, man, I just want to be home.
Yeah.
So, sometimes like I opt not to stay out as much no more. I could be like, yo, if it's a 3-hour drive, man, I might just drive back. Sometimes stay, I'm a night driver. So, sometimes I'll just be like, yo, I could get back to my family and, different things, so, but being busy is just, it's just, in that way forever.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing else to do.
Yeah. So how has it been like for you navigating being a busy man and being married, being a family man, having children?
I think like you just gotta realize sometimes money ain't everything, and sometimes you have to put things aside. You can't do everything. So there was times like I would take a lot of jobs just because I'm like, if I'm sitting at home, I'm like, yo, I'm watching TV, spending money. because y'all gonna want to eat and do other things. So if that's the case,
movies.
you know, so, you know, you want to go to the movies.
Yeah.
Just like the movies the other night with everybody there came to $105. So I'm like, man, if I was working, then I wouldn't have spent $105. I'm not being cheap, y'all. Please don't think that I'm cheap. So what I would do, I would take, I'm not cheap, I would take jobs because I was like, if I don't take the job, I'm spending money. Now, if I just, you know, if I have a day off, then that's my day off. Then we could plan something to do. But then I always feel like you have a job offer on the table that can pay you a certain amount of money, whatever your rate is. So you'd be like, yo, I'm going to take this because if I don't take it, I'm going to spend it anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Most of the time, because if you're gone a lot, then you're going to want to do something.
Right.
And they're going to be like, well, I want to go out. I want to go here. So you'd be like, man, the money I just made, I got to go spend it on some food with everybody or you.
Yeah.
So that's just the difference of what made me work hard. I just always feel like, you know, in that time. So that's why a lot of times when I do come home, I sleep. I'll get the rest that I can in a moment because I know I'm going to get back up and I'm going to go right back at it today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't sleep in late. I'm not one of them guys. I'm up like 6:30, 7 in the morning, and my day starts throughout the day and keep going.
Yeah. But you said something that was key point. You said that, you know, you don't do everything. Like you pick and choose, you know, what
not
you
no
do.
more.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, I'd be like, yo, I don't
chase
care
the
on the
money.
podcast. I'm who I am.
Yeah.
Now I was hoeing. You know what I mean? So when you say you hoeing, like, yo, you lift your leg up for any gig. Doc, I got $50 for you. You be like, yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Like, I'm a hope, man. I'm dead, Doc.
Right.
Playing 4 hours, $50.
Yes.
I ain't never did it that low, but I'm just using that as an example.
No more hoeing.
So you'd be like, yeah, I was out there hoeing for gigs. So
Hoeing for gigs.
anybody call you, you take it. So you'd be like, man, I'm just hoeing, man. I just want to play.
Wow.
But I don't hoe no more. I better deliver hoe.
Man.
So, you know what I mean?
Right, because you got family, you married, you like, I can't be
No, you
can't be
can't
prostituting my gift like
no, you
this
can't,
no more.
You can't
That's
go.
good.
You just can't. You can't
Yeah.
do it too much. You got to know when. Like even for example, I missed a lot of money on your birthday because we went to Dubai, and at the end of the day, they told me what my fee was going to be, and I just said, bro, I can't. She's only gonna turn 40 once.
Yes.
So you know what I mean. If that's the case,
Whew, I gave it to him good for that choice too.
And then
That
I
was
just,
good, baby. That was a good choice right there. Thank you. That made me. Woo.
I said at this point she's only gonna turn 41, so the money didn't matter.
Yes.
We went to Dubai. I was just like, man, you know, and it seemed like by making that decision, more money came in out of nowhere.
Thank you, Jesus.
That it happened. So I was just like, man, if I would have made the choice, we might not would have got that other money.
Yeah.
Then I would have just got that lump sum, a little bit of lump sum that I'm thinking was more than what it should have been. So I took the time and be like, yo, you know what? Nah, I did approach her about changing it, but
you asked very humbly, and I was like, I want to be away on my birthday. Like, I want to, you know, and you did not hassle me
I would
about
hassle.
it.
I'd be like, no, we can make this money. I can take this on the trip. Then we got this. So any excursion you want to do, you can do this. I just left it alone.
He's like, it's my birthday.
I was like, it's your birthday. It's cool. You only turned 40 once.
Yeah.
And so I was just like,
She took off
for my birthday. You know what I mean? Her 9 to 5. So to come out there during the week. So I was just like, cool. I was like, I can't. It ain't every time. It's not worth it. But you know.
I love that. Look at us. Okay, so honey, next question. What's one of the biggest misconceptions people have about a relationship such as ours? Like where, you know, you're an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur, you're busy, always gone. What's one of the misconceptions you think?
Shoot. I don't even know to really think. I'm trying to think about it.
I could think of a few.
The biggest misconception.
That person available, or that, you know, like, oh, you know what I mean? Your husband never. You always by yourself. But people try to push. I'm just saying from my perspective.
But that's the thing on like personal, that people shouldn't know that your husband's gone that much. It just depends on if you're posting or like showing that you are by yourself. You know what I mean? So that's what
I had to work on that.
But that's what social
I'm
media.
a poster.
That's what social media does. So they see that you by yourself. Like I'm not a poster of my gig, so I don't show. Nobody knows that I'm working. You know what I mean?
That's good, babe.
So if you posting your stuff, then you have the doors open to say, well, she lonely or he gone all the time. So, you know, you give a gateway. So you don't give gateways to people if that's the case. So nobody knows how much I work. You know what I mean? People
probably would know because I used to give too much information.
That's
I
people
used to
knowing, but no one knows how much I work. They just think I'm some rich dude and be like, "Oh, he rich," but I'm not rich. And I'll be like, "Yo, I just work," but nobody knows how much I work because you don't see me working.
That's true.
So if you saw me working all the time, they'd be like, "Oh, he working all the time." Or people would say to me like, "Man, y'all work very quietly." Or you know what I mean? Because you know you'll see people, they post everything that they do, and I'd be like, "Well, man, they work quietly." So you know, working quietly is different. Like the world doesn't even know. Like we may have our own studio. You get what I'm saying? So like when you think about that, you just be like, somebody will come in and be like, man, y'all got a studio, or you know, with the team with me. So I'll be like, oh wow, that is people don't see that because you're just not you're not putting it for the world to see.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean? That's just, you know, like how you got these young idiots showing a bunch of money flashing. Yeah, they just showing off. You know what I mean? So you don't give people your hand. So with your question, you just move quietly so nobody know that you be like, well, she by herself or he always gone. He always on a flight. So when people post they're doing it for status. Good. So when you don't really care about status, I don't have to tell people I'm working or the car that I drive or the house that I live in because that doesn't determine I'm working. So for my family, just know if you want to have a sit down or one-on-one like we have it now, then I could talk to you and be like, well, this is what I do. Like I don't work a 9 to 5. Like this is how these steps. I worked a 9 to 5. I got fired from jobs. I didn't quit jobs, and me and you worked at a bookstore together. Like this didn't happen. This didn't happen overnight. Like I didn't become a musician to you know and travel and do all this overnight.
Yeah. No, and I mean, and I think one of the other misconceptions is like, you know, someone could assume that the partner who is supporting the busy partner is that they're unhappy. You know what I mean? Like where they could have a full life where, you know, you're gone, you're busy, but I'm busy too. Like I have my gifts. I have my, you know, things that I love to do. I've developed hobbies. You know, everything isn't just centered around you and our marriage and us being together. So I think, you know, a misconception is that, you know, the person could be like, man, how could they deal with that? Or I'm sure they exhausted from always being alone. Or if they got young kids, oh my God. It's because, you know, you would be gone. We had the
How would they know? How will people know?
Well, I'm just thinking it's misconception. So people like assume. Sometimes people could, you know, be like, just kind of come up with assumptions, you know. And a lot of times, unfortunately, it could be negative, you know. What's been the hardest part for each of us, would you say? You know, 20 years of being married, like, you know, what would you say the hardest part?
Sometimes getting along.
When it comes to like when it comes to you being busy?
Sometimes getting along, being busy, it comes along. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's talk about that because I feel like I'm really supportive.
No, you're very.
Like I'm getting my voice getting high pitched.
You're
like,
very.
Wait a minute,
You've been.
I don't give you no problems.
No, you don't. I'm just saying, but there are times that you have been like. Again, when I was hoeing and stuff, like you got to take this, and I'll be like, yo, I'm going to work, and so like sometimes that can bring that. You know, that back and forthness and be like, well, I need time too. So, you know, I'd be like, I know, but y'all got to eat. I know, even though you do work and, you know, we have two income household, it's still, I you know, just being a man that I've, you know, grown up to be and seeing my dad, I got to work, you know what I mean? And so, you know what I mean? Just think about if I worked at another job, I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to get this overtime. If I was driving a bus or something, I'd be like, I'm going to get this overtime tonight. It's the same principle.
You're taking me down memory lane because you know what? I'm thinking about where we are now, but I do forget that there were challenges, like you said, getting along because initially, like, you know, I would have moments where I felt like, why do you have to, you know, take this where, like you said, when you were hoeing, it was like, man, it's like you taking any and every gig. Like, you know, I need you to balance this out. And so initially too, I always respected your gift, but I personally would feel like you were just like you said, just always taking a gig, like to the point where it's like, it's not work. It's fun. Like he's gigging with his friends, right? Which is amazing. Like you have, talented musician friends who, your best friend is a drummer. Y'all work together. And I'm just like, and I've seen you work and I'm like, hold up. I'm like, they doing a lot of laughing,
Your job should always, what you love to do should always be fun. That's why I love what I do. So if I'm taking gigs, it's because, like even my boy Johnny, like shout out to him. He told me one day, he was just like, man, you ain't that busy. So he said that. And then I was just like, okay. So one day he was like, he had to eat all his words. He said, man, I came and stayed with him for a couple days at his house. This is when we lived in Randallstown. And so he came and stayed. He said 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, this man's phone started ringing for people trying to book sessions with him. He's taking his kids to school. Then we go to the studio all day. His phone's still ringing. His wife's still calling him saying, where you at? No, I'm just playing. But where you at? Where you at? No, I'm just playing. But
I've been delivered.
He said, so he stayed with me for about a week. And he said every day it was like this routine. He'll get up because she would be at work. So I get up, no matter what time I get in at 3 a.m. or whatever. And I was driving from the studio in Bowie back to Randallstown on a daily basis just to, build what we have now. And so we would do that. And then I'll come home, wake up, get the kids ready for school. Drop them off at school. They ain't had no bus where we live. So I had to take the kids to school. Then I'd be like, come home, be like, dog, you ready to go? And so like, he'll come out, we'll hang, and then he'd be like, dog. He was just like, I have to apologize. He was just like, I thought you was just a bull crapper. You like some people walk around on the phone and be like, yeah, doc, like, yeah, just like taking phone calls. He was like, yo, you actually put in a lot of work. And so, when somebody sees that, I was like, that's kind of like what happened. So, like I say, so with that, you just be like, you don't have to take everything. It's just like I say, if I feel like I'm sitting down, then, you stop. It's just like a old person. If they stop doing what they love to do, they die. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm going to die, but I have to keep moving because if I don't move, then I'm going to either spend money or I'm going to be asleep. Yeah. So you pick your choices.
Yeah, but to your point of like how, the hard part for us was, getting along, a lot changed. Like, you would hear me, you would hear my heart when I say, listen, you were busy this week. I would intentionally like ask you, I would be specific. Can you take this day off? Can we have a family day? You've been gone. I miss you. So communication was key, and you hearing me, and the more that you got wise and God opened doors where you're just making money, where you don't even have to run around and just, make money. Because I know you. I remember how you were. You were scared. Like you were scared to be broke. So you worked super hard, and I think it was just a walk that you had to walk out with God, to like have that faith and trust him that, I'm not missing anything if I turn down some gigs. And when you started doing that, I feel like the money flowed even the more. And then the arguments stopped, because I seen how you sacrificed and, you would hear me and you would make that intentional time. When you would make that intentional time for me and the kids, you would go, I'm like, all right, babe. Because I feel like I had my time with you, like my quality time with you. It's not about quantity, you know what I mean? Because like I said, I like having my space and my time to myself too. But it's like when we got together and the quality of the time. And you started to hear me on that, you know?
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I think it might have been, you have to build a name at some point.
Shoo-wee.
So building a name takes up a lot of time.
Yeah.
So now, because I have built a name for myself and different things, my time, I've learned how to get my time back. You get what I'm saying? Because I have a name.
Yeah.
I know certain people may call me. This group may not call me no more because I was like, I'm not giving that time. Even for example, like, I ain't gonna use that. Because people may know people, but I got
be like,
hey, I
see you on that podcast.
See you talking about my bed. I was like, no, but there's only, so I only have a set of people that I would work for.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And some things is not about the money at all. I may not make what my fee may
it's
be.
Relationship.
But it's relationships. So like I say, once you build a name, then you become in demand. So now you can set your price, and then now you can tell people no. It's just like the studio. You know, when we get together and the team, we meet with people for meetings, we have a set price. If they don't want to meet the price, we don't have to hold for it no more. We be like, oh, okay, cool. On to the next one.
Yeah.
So I think these are the things and steps, like I say, after you build yourself, then you can charge what you want. Then you can go and just make a name and be like, now I can turn down stuff. So I felt like when people call me, oh man, I never worked with them. Let me get my name out there with them. But now that doesn't even matter because it's just like, okay, well, you become set apart.
That's so true. So what do you think is important? I know we have like our things that we do and we could share, but how do we keep it fun, especially when like time away seems a little heavy? What's one of the things that you feel is helpful? What is it one of the things you like to do?
Just plan a trip. Your time around, because I pretty much have my schedule almost a year out.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean, especially with the things on my Saturday.
Yeah.
You already know my weekdays. I always tell people I could do Monday through Friday anywhere I want to. Like I could hop on a plane tomorrow. You know what I mean, and do Monday. I can go chill on the island from Monday to Friday. I just know I gotta be back. Okay. I got the weekend, or if I already have a set gig that's already set. I just know pretty much my busiest times are the weekend. Yeah. I could, doing studio sessions and different things, I could always might push them back or change the date or, different things. I can do that.
Yeah.
But, I just realized that like, taking that time and planning vacations or, getting away for a while and, because like you say, every time, like, if you do it right, your money put away, it's not everything. You know what I mean? Your family is what's most important.
Yes.
And like, being there for people.
I love our family vacations. I love our, vacations. And I mean, so definitely love that. But even like from week to week, what I think is helpful for us is, just the intentionality. Like, we both are, working on fitness and we go to the gym, you tagging along with me to go to the gym and like us riding to the gym, I might go to my class, you do your weights, whatever. But just that like time together really helps and makes the difference. We watch our shows.
Right.
We watch our, what's
you
our show?
You can't name them. You don't name them because, they might be like, take it down. Like, you know what I mean? So
really? Oh,
and you don't know.
You're so smart.
No, I'm saying
illegal.
This one might go viral. So they be like, they name it. They name it.
Then they be hitting me
you
up.
name it and then it go down. Yeah, you gotta take that down. And you're like, oh man, this is my first one. They went viral. And I can take it down. Hell, why? Like should the name drop? That's why they named the bands.
You're so smart, dude. That's why you my better half. But no, another thing that I like that you do when like you're away is text. I like when I see my phone, it's a ding and it's from you and you like, hey, how's your day going? I'm like, oh, I still feel so connected to you because it's like you thought of me. You're thinking of me, or you'll be very communicative to say, hey, wrapping up, about to leave, or you'll call and say, hey, I'm on my way. You got the car, you might be like, hey, I got to charge first. So then like you giving me a heads up of like, I got to charge. So I may be, a little behind. I just love when you're just intentional about communicating with me because it just makes me feel thought of. And then I feel connected to you. Not like in a controlling way, but just like a considerate way, Anything like, what would you say? What is it that I do that like, kind of helps? What do I do?
Tell me I got some food at home when I get home.
Yes!
Something to eat.
He'd be like, hey, we got some food at home. Like literally, I'm like,
like, no, I can get up and do it. Like, no, no, just go back to sleep.
Hey, sometimes it's been ready though. Like, don't play me.
I don't play. I would say it has. I'll give you that. I definitely give you that. But just having some food ready. Something like
very
that.
Simple.
It's just simple. I'm not a hard guy to please. It's just very simple.
Yes, absolutely. And then like when you're on the road, sometimes when you're like taking like long trips and you have to, drive to, a out of town wedding, whatever. I'll pack you some snacks. I noticed that makes you happy.
Yes, very happy. That's good.
Points for me. Points for me. Okay,
ain't packing on this week, but no, I'm just playing.
You're right, babe. I'm slacking this week. This week you went hungry. I apologize. All right, babe. Okay, so let's get to a little bit of a fun segment, okay?
Cool. Yeah, all the serious questions out the window.
Oh, gosh. All right, let's have a little fun. What's your go-to meal while you're on the road? So, the people may not know. Let me let y'all know. You may not. Oh, babe, just get me later. My baby, y'all probably seen. He's transforming. Like, he's on this fit journey, right? And I mean, I'm enjoying it. So I support the mission. But with that being said, I know you have to eat healthy and things. So what's your go-to meal?
Supposedly Chipotle. Yeah. If I said it right. That's my go-to because it's healthy. It's, ain't too much.
Okay.
But if I got to eat something, I'll settle for like a double hamburger at McDonald's if I have to, which is totally gross. But dang, I just name dropped. But oh well, at this point. But that's like my go-to because I'm eating a little healthier and
yes.
So like I'll bring an apple or try to have snacks because I can't eat in my car, so I just stand outside.
That's when I pack.
Yeah.
Snacks.
So protein shakes or like you say, I'll eat if I'm do or die nothing, I just get a double hamburger.
Okay.
From McDonald's. That if there's nothing open or like I can't settle. Like I'll do something like that.
So baby, nice with this next question. When you come home from one of your trips, what's one of the first things that you notice? What's one of the first things?
The house ain't clean.
I knew you was gonna say that.
What?
Babe, come on. Don't do me.
Okay,
don't do me.
Just because you did it once or twice, but the majority of the time the house was clean. Like I'll be like, me, like every time
I done had your clothes folded and everything. You came in, this is real nice.
Yeah, that once or twice is not. You just asked me a question that I gave you the answer to. You asked me what some of the things. The house is not clean the way I want to come in and see it clean. I want it to look like our cleaning people came and cleaned the house, and then I walk in like, man, nice and fresh. Because you just want to lay in your bed. You don't want to crawl over stuff. I'm not saying our house is that dirty. It's not that dirty at all.
You better clarify
certain standards of clean that I like. Like I want to see the lines in the carpet. Like
you ain't gonna see it.
No, why not?
Because I don't do the vacuum with the lines.
Well, then that's just not clean. So you asked me the question. That's why I want the house to be clean.
Yo, we gonna fight.
Why? We're not gonna fight because I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying she's dirty, y'all, but I'm just saying I want my house to be a little cleaner.
But I know that about you, and so like I ain't gonna lie, like I'll be chilling hard while you're away, and then like it's like, oh dang, he about to be, so I'll be scrambling, just to straighten up, but like. Come on, man. It ain't that bad. Don't do me.
I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm just, all I'm saying is I want it to be a little cleaner when you come home, set your suitcase down. Be like, hey, nobody swept the front door.
Hey. Whew. Okay, so this is fun. This is truly I should call this the fun and truthful segment.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, all right. Who's more likely to text I miss you text first?
You.
Right. I'm so sweet.
No, I can't. I be busy. It's not no hard feelings. I can't. I'm playing. So if I'm playing or doing something, I can't just,
and then plus I'm just mushy. So
you can't always pull out my phone and text it. You text it for.
What's a song that reminds you of me?
That's a good one.
I mean, don't be too slow with it. I mean, come on.
Weak.
Okay, sing a little bit of it.
I'm not about to sing. Definitely not.
What part of the song? Go ahead.
I'm not singing. Only in karaoke.
Give a little to the people. And it's for me. This is my song.
I'm not singing this song.
You say I remind you of the song. Sing the song, Anime.
That's Eat the Cake. I'm not singing this song on no podcast. Not when I got like a preacher voice right now.
Give a little bit.
I'm not singing on this platform, on your platform.
Yes.
Won't you sing?
I mean...
Because you always say our daughter got her voice from you.
You know what? No, babe.
We told that on national TV. She get it from me.
It was a joke, obviously.
No, we'll just sing a little bit of your song.
Which one?
Weak.
That's your song, babe.
That's my song. Then you
that
sing it.
is your song.
You
said that's the song. A song. Let's see. What's a song?
What's the song
reminds, for you? I was just thinking that. I'm like, what if he asked?
One last cry? No, I'm just playing. You give all breakup songs. That'd be bad.
You get on my nerves.
I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to shed a tear.
No, okay. Honestly, a song.
I was your lover and your secretary.
Those were my songs for years. Look, that'll be that's another podcast. We done came a long way.
All the Mary J. Blige songs was my songs for me.
Actually, one of the songs that always, when we started dating, because he used to be singing hard to me, y'all, when we was in school and stuff. I mean, vein popping out the neck and everything.
That's because I was skinny.
He used to sing hard to me, okay? And so one of the songs you would always sing to me is, oh my gosh, what's his name?
Incomplete.
Yes, Cisco. Oh my gosh, that song. And you would also sing to me, what's the guy that we don't like no more because he ain't turned the chair for our baby.
I'm not saying his name on this platform.
Oh my gosh, come on, we could say the name.
I'm not saying his name, but you just said he didn't turn the chair, so I'm not gonna put him out there.
What's the song? Oh my gosh. Oh, baby, we're so high, walking on cloud nine. You be like, ooh. Like you would sing. You remember you used to sing that? You be like, baby, you used to grab my hand. Baby, we're so high, walking on cloud. And I used to be like, ooh. I used to tell my girls, I'm like, girl, he sang to me. You remember that?
A little bit.
That song still reminds. I love that. And Incomplete.
Yeah, I remember Incomplete.
Yeah.
That was my song.
Genuine too. We used to sing that joint on road trips to Ocean City.
What song? Pony?
No.
No, I was just playing.
Nah, In Those Jeans.
Oh yeah,
you remember that joint? Okay. All right, babe. Let's wrap this up for some. We be
talking about Pony. That's okay.
Sing a little bit of that.
I'm not singing that either.
Oh man, come on, you guys sing for
you
me.
Sung for the people there. It was good. This is your platform. Faith Girl.
Get on my nerves. All right, so we're gonna get some advice to the people. Okay. All right. So, what advice would you give to a woman dating a high demand, busy man?
Be patient.
Ooh.
Just, be patient because his hard work one day is definitely going to pay off. If he's out there really working for you and he put that time in to spend with you, or, if he has, family or they have kids together, the best thing I can say is just put that time in, but,
That's
just
good.
let him work. You know what I mean? Don't try to hold him back from work because it will never work. Because if you try to take a man from his job, you know what I mean, to be selfish, then it wasn't. Also, I'll say even as, I'll just say let him work.
That's good. Ladies, from a woman's perspective, I mean, I have to piggyback off of what you said. Definitely be patient. Definitely know that, the seeds that's being planted now that you're going to reap a harvest if you faint not, so don't quit. Definitely keep your faith first. Faith will anchor your marriage. I mean, it took a lot of prayer. And here's the thing. Sometimes in your walk together, faith-wise, you both may not be on the same page. So if it's, you praying more than he's praying, whatever, if you got to bring the family together, pray. Keep God first. He will anchor you through the hard times. And, read resources, read a book, talk to other couples, where you can ask questions, where they've successfully, navigated through that journey that you're on. Get advice, be a part of a woman's group. Like, don't walk it alone, because when you're alone, walking through and navigating your thoughts on, is this for me? This is hard. I feel lonely. And isolation is where the devil really, really likes to have a foothold, and he'll fill that foothold with all kinds of lies and thoughts. You could do better. The grass is green on the other side. He out there, he probably cheating and this, that, and the third. You have to really, really keep God first and be intentional because it's not easy. It's not an easy walk, but with God, all things are possible, and with communication and with love being your foundation. So, babe, I'm so glad we made it. We successfully journeyed through this. You've never, ever, ever tried to stop me from my dreams. I've never tried to stop you, and I wouldn't change this for anything. I'm grateful for this journey.
I ain't gonna say you tried to stop me, but you was definitely sending in applications behind my back.
Dude, I forgot about that. Okay, one more message for the people.
Go. It's time to wrap it up. I definitely want to say that. Don't act like you was always supportive. I
completely forgot about that.
Yeah, it'd be people calling me, hey, you fill out an application? I was like, no.
Yo, I forgot.
You filled out, sitting in my application.
No,
see, that's why they can't know your social. Because now I'm getting phone calls of applications I didn't even know about.
But this is good because this is what us women do. We see that something is needed, and baby, we will fulfill that need. So it was during a time where we was really financially struggling. This is why I say
But I didn't just I worked. You gotta remember, I did not musically, not doing what I do now. You gotta remember, I did things like deliver papers and all the other things. It was a job that would have been at a radio station. So all of a sudden, I'm like, the guy was just like, hey, your wife.
It was along the lines of what you wanted to do.
Your wife,
so I was trying to, bring you up. See,
I probably didn't get that job because you called him. Hey, your wife called me, and hey, your wife, she called me and was like, what's going on? I was just like, that's my job. But you definitely put in applications other places and stuff for me.
No.
Yes, you did.
I don't know. I don't remember that time.
You definitely filling out applications.
Well, this is why don't have a Sarah spirit, y'all. If God say something's gonna work, don't take matters into your own hands. But that's who I am. You know me. I'm a get it done kind of person. Yeah. And I felt like let me help.
I wasn't not dragging my feet. You know what I mean? Yeah. I still had income coming in.
But that studio joint, that was along the lines of what you wanted to do. It was in the area, the same field. I'm just saying.
No, it was a major radio station. I would have been like an engineer at the radio station, but it was just like at the time I don't even think I was qualified for the job, but I just did it.
I had big faith for you.
No,
baby.
I mean, cool. It wasn't for me, but I mean, you was filling out applications.
But see, that doesn't mean I wasn't supportive.
Hey, this is John from the temp service. Hey, you see, I got your application here, and we're looking for somebody permanently. I was like, dude, I didn't fill this out. And we didn't get a lot. It wasn't a lot of spam calls back then. So I know it was like somebody had to fill out my information.
I completely forgot.
Hey, we're here to put on the new roof.
And you followed the instructions though.
What instructions I follow?
Like the next steps.
Huh?
Yeah, the next steps. You was open to it.
No, I wasn't taking certain jobs. Like I'm not bougie, but like I said, I did everything. Like you know what I mean. So I've never not worked. So like sometimes as a man, don't fill out my application. Like because
lesson learned. But you know where that came from.
I wasn't. If I was at home not bringing in income, then fill out my application.
No, I just wanted better for you, babe. You was working hard. You was working real hard. I was like, I need this man to not die on me.
I wasn't gonna die.
He working too hard, Lord Jesus. I
had like 3 jobs.
Hey, I'm gonna let you know your mom was in it with me.
I know she was. Because she probably was one probably gave me more of my information if you didn't have it.
And don't nobody ride for you the way me and her ride for you. So just know man. it was all support. It was all working for you good.
Yeah, well, I didn't get none of them jobs that y'all filled out.
I know, babe. Any last words for the people?
No, I don't really have much more to say. Just, like I say, just believe and, even with yourself, just, if you want to do, work for yourself, just believe in yourself and just know that whatever you want to do, you can do it. You know what I mean? Like,
even while having a family.
Even while having a family, like, just know, like, you can do whatever you put your mind to. Like, me, I always think about it every day. I was like, man, I have a routine. Like, my routine is like, I can get up and go to the gym early. I can go past the studio, or I could be like, I'm going home, take a nap. I can go play basketball during the day. I can go, I'm still busy. I have things, but like my whole schedule, I think about that, like with being a blessing, able to take care of a home and a family with what I do is such a blessing. And I think I wake up every day and thank God that I don't have to, like, you leaving out at 4 a.m. Like, I don't have to, like, leave out at 4 a.m. to go punch a clock and I'm sitting there miserable. You know what I mean? I always tell somebody, like, yo, I'd have been some IT guy out of shape just with a lanyard and dressing funny. No, that's what I'm just being honest. I just thank God for that. But we're over time and, you know, but I just think I wake up every day and thank God. So just believe in yourself. That's it. That's all I can say. Believe in yourself and your family comes first, pretty much.
I love that. Thank you all so much for joining. I hope that this podcast was a blessing to you. If it was, please share the Hey Faith Girl podcast. Our info is going to come up, or you could follow us, how you could get in touch with us on all platforms. Hey, Al, go ahead and let the people know how they could follow you.
You can follow me on Instagram, BIGE202. Also, our studio page is One Vision Music, the number 1, VISION Music. Also, One Vision Band. You can follow us there. Also, the band Sound Connection. You can follow us there. So these are, you know, platforms that you can look us up on, and, you know, pretty much it.
You all stay blessed. Bye.
Yeah, we'll give a shout out to Nunu, my cousin Ray, and all the niggas.